My name is Nnditshedzeni Eric Maluta. I work at the University of Venda, Vuwani Science Resource Centre. And at Vuwani Science Resource Centre, we are more engaged with learners from the rural areas to try and teach them hands-on experiments of their grade 10 to 12. We are more focusing on physical science and life sciences. And what we are trying to do is for them to at least understand some experiments before they go for higher education, so that at least they go there knowing how to do the simple experiment. Yeah, the physics has been the one who comes with the establishment of the solar energy through the photon, which was established some years ago. And then people try to understand what can this photon be used at. And then we have the simple experiment which learners does on Ohm's law, where they understand the electricity. And that's where the physics comes in, where we now try to see how this photon can produce the energy. And the photons we are talking about, they are free photons from the sun. And this is more interesting because when we talk about the sun, the energy coming from the sun is renewable. That's why we have the solar cells and renewable energy going hand in hand as the way of solving the climate change of the world. But then the issue is understanding the movement of the photon then makes the physics to play a more important role on the renewable energy. That's why most of the physicists, you will find them currently looking on solving the problem of the climate change through different renewable energy technologies, which is like wind, solar, biogas, and other related technologies, because they understand the beginning of the photons. As physics, normally currently we are working with technology and we have data. There are so many data which is available all over. The data people are always involved on finance, where if you do physics, you can also end up working at finance and at the banks. You can end up becoming a researcher and helping the farmers. And other careers involve engineering, because as part of solar cells, you need an engineer to compile the smallest cells to make it a panel. You also need the electrical engineer, you need the mechanical engineer when you are doing tracking of the sun. You also need people from ecology, where you do the ecological measurements. Like in Vuwani, we have a tower where we do the carbon exchange, where most of the people who are doing that, they are coming from biology, they are ecology, they are environmental people who are all looking at the environment. And as part of physics, you can work with those people. And apart from that, we also do programming as a programmer, as a computer scientist. Personally, I grew up from a rural area, which is far from Thohoyandou, which is the main town of the Venda. But then when I started doing the sciences, it was not because I was strong enough or I was knowledgeable enough, but I was an average person, but I have dedication to say whatever I wanted to achieve, I can achieve it, because already people were pushing to say you have some knowledge which you can follow there. But then as an average learner, I also followed them to say, if I work hard, I will achieve, which this goes to all learners, whether you are in the rural area like where I grew up, it doesn't matter, but what matters is what you are focusing on, to say, am I focusing at the right point? Do I need to achieve something? And wherever you are, wherever you do, you can achieve just looking at where you are going, and then you can go there. But I think the path was hard enough because I have to focus. I need to look at where I'm going. But the interesting thing is, after your first degree and so on, there are so many bursaries which then you are able to get them and manage to go where you want to go.